Ever look around and feel like everyone's ahead of you financially? Like, what am I doing wrong? How are we doing today? My name is Alexander Akabogu. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexander Akabogu. Like I said, this is the engineering basketball channel. The channel where myself, I'm a degreed engineer and computer scientist working in the industry for large companies for over a decade and counting. While I did that, I also am a former college basketball player and high school basketball and middle school basketball coach, skills development trainer. And I'm here to let you know that the way I go to work, the way I operate my day-to-day as an engineer, I use that same mindset, the same systemized thinking in basketball. And it's exactly what you need to do. In today's video, we're talking about you're not broke, you're just early. You're just early. I went to the office today and I noticed it's a nice day. The sun is finally coming out. It's end of March, you know. People are coming out of that, the winter blues, right? The depression. And the sun is out, so they bring out their nice cars. You see a lot more clean Lexuses coming out that garage. You see a lot more Porsches and, you know, a lot. People are dressing for the sun. People are talking about the vacations they either are going on for spring break or they have just went. That may be some island down in Florida. That may be some all-inclusive thing. So maybe that's Hawaii. I've heard Alaska, Japan. People are moving and shaking, and I know you see it. People are moving and shaking. I know you see it. But I'm here to tell you, don't feel intimidated. You're seeing finished products. You're seeing finished products. Right? Not people in the early build phase. And I know you're saying, hey, listen, I know some friends who are my age or younger who are on these trips, who have nicer cars than me. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what their burn rate, their monthly burn rate is. That monthly burn rate being, what do they cost? What is their monthly expenses? What do they cost? You don't know what that is. You don't know if they're swimming in debt. You don't know if they don't understand their finances. Are they saving at all? These are the questions you don't know or you don't have answers to. And the people that are actually operating at this level, maybe traveling, they're X amount years older than you. They're 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years older than you. You can't compare their later years to what you're building right now. And that's the difference. Right? Most people most wealth is built quietly. Most wealth is built quietly in your late 20s, early 30s, before it shows up, right? It might show up in your mid to late 30s, right? That's where we're all sitting now. I'm in my early 30s right now, and it's hard, right? A lot of people have given up on their optionality journey and just start spending getting it and spending it, getting it and spending it. That's okay. The ones that think like me, the ones that are watching this channel, are conscious of their savings rate, conscious of earning more, conscious of reducing their expenses, conscious of taxes and how they operate. It's a different life, but I'm telling you, the juice is much sweeter. This topic really focuses on this delayed gratification. Delayed gratification isn't falling behind. It's setting up for long-term control, right? That's what we have here. Long-term control. I was just reminiscing on my path, my history the last 10 years. We can get into my story a little bit more in the future, but this time 10 years ago, I got my first 10 plus years ago, I got my first engineering job. I say 10 plus because it was like 10 and a half, going on 11. Got my first engineering job. I'm a field engineer, working in controls, right? If you know what it is, I'm working with PLC, programming logic. I'm in the field with devices. I'm at wastewater treatment plants. I'm at power plants. I'm at different things. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. 3 months after my first job, I'm going to work early in the morning, doing my best to pay attention and learn what I can, and then coming home and finding myself just kind of looking for things to do. That could be the gym, right, obviously. And after the gym, which I always do go to, or some type of workout, it's like just playing video games, playing Call of Duty, playing Destiny, playing Fortnite. Fun. So much fun. Or reaching out to my friends to see if, like, are they going to a bar, what's the case may be. After 3 months that I was tired, man. I got a job. 3 months into my first engineering big boy job, what was I making when I started? $52,000 a year. Making $50,000 a year, but I had no car payment, right? I bought my car in cash, and I actually got a company car when I started working, so I didn't even have wear and tear on my first car for the first year. My rent was $300. I had a roommate. My car expenses were $0, right? So I was seeing a lot more money than most people do see at that age. And I got a second job as a bartender at a Red Robin. I was working 3-4 nights a week, making about, $150 a night. Let's say 3 nights a week, $150. I'm making $150, $300, $450. In 1 week, I made enough to pay my rent. In 2 weeks, I made enough to pay my rent twice. So I made it a goal of myself to not only learn in my day job, but to also use my second job as a way to kind of fund my entire life. If I worked 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week, making $600 a week, that's $2,400 pre-tax. $2,400. At 23 years old, man, that's enough. I'm making $2,400 on my side job. So I started saving heavy into my savings account. Sorry, into my safe. The reason I did that was because I'm a bartender. I'm getting a lot of cash, right? A lot of cash. That's what I'm coming home with. So I just put cash away. And I would put away $300 to pay my mortgage every month. Then I started learning. And the reason I'm telling you this, and I don't want to go into too deep detail. I want to stay on topic here. The reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to know a little bit more about me. I want you to know how I got here. Am I just fluff? No, but I'm giving you nuggets on how I got here. So after 3 months after my first big boy engineering job, right after graduating from college, I went and got a second job. And I've always had a second job or multiple incomes ever since. Right? That bartending job turned into me getting a new first-time job, right? So I transferred, worked at another large company. I moved, which is another thing you should do. Change companies to get that raise. But after I moved, I started Ubering. I'd Ubered for a full year and change, I'd say. And I'm talking about working 3-4 nights a week on peak time, right? I'm working 4 hours a night, making, I think, about, I don't remember how much I was making, but I think I was coming home with like $150 a night. Just like bartending, that's what I'm used to. Again, pre-tax, right? But that's the type of guy I am, right? I'm making my main job, but then my side job, I want to fund my entire income, so I'm able to save my entire check from my main job. And then we'll get into this, and then from Uber driving, I stopped that after a closing year, and I transitioned to refereeing high school, middle school, youth league basketball games. I was reffing when I was single. I was reffing 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week. I was reffing three games a night. I was making, again, like I said, $100, $200 a night, pulling in money. Again, still working as an engineer, right? Still prioritizing, understanding that my main thing is this engineering thing, but this refereeing thing can really open up some bandwidth. That's just a little bit of a nuggets for you to understand that that's some of the effort that I've put in, that I probably should make a separate video about, a little bit of my journey, but I've made efforts to separate myself. So when you ask yourself, how the hell do you have this savings account, or how do you have such a great savings rate? It's because I've built up skills and tolerance to work outside of my main job. You understand? And we can get to what happens after that, but that's what I want to end with. And I'll focus back on the video on wealth. We'll say I started with, you're not broke, you're just early, right? So when I'm in my 20s, I'm just early. Keep working hard, keep earning, keep learning. it will compound itself. If you don't have a handout, from a relative or something like that, it's going to be a hustle. But it doesn't have to be delayed gratification forever, and it will not be. It has to be purposeful. So I'll end with this. Don't compare your foundation to someone else's finished house, right? You're just building the foundation. The ones that are me, who I have to get it out the mud. I'm just building my foundation, building my skills, building my earning potential, calibrating my expenses, and making sure I'm comfortable with what I'm comfortable with. Then it's going to be beautiful. It's going to get beautiful, I'm telling you. So stay in your phase. All right? Drop a comment down here how you're hustling. How you're hustling on the side that some people don't even know. How you're putting in that extra work. How you're making sure that you will make a change in your life. And a video that I will make in the future too is not only the money that you're making or the things that you're saying yes to make more money, what are the things you're saying no to avoid the pitfalls? That is a whole video in itself. Let me know what you think. Over and out.